Hi everyone, hope you all are good. We are here for grade 10 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 10 and then click on view all lessons. So there you can find the list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter congruent triangles. The lessons we're going to cover today are SSS and SAS theorems, proving triangles congruent by SSS and SAS, proving triangles congruent by ASA and AAS, and then SSS, SAS, ASA, and AAS theorems, right? Please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. Let's just start with the first lesson, that is SSS and SAS theorem, right? Okay, SAS means side, angle, and side, right? S is for side and A is for angle. So SAS theorem means you have two of the sides and an angle between these two sides are congruent, right? So the question is, which two triangles are congruent by SAS theorem? Complete the congruence statement, right? So you have to look for the two triangles in which sides, angle, and sides are congruent, right? So look at the triangle ABC and triangle VWU. Side AC is congruent to side VW, angle C is congruent to angle V, and side BC is congruent to UV. So here for the triangle ABC and UVW, the SAS theorem holds. Got it? Okay, here is an explanation. SSS means side, side, and side, right? So all three corresponding sides are congruent. Then you have SAS means two sides and an angle between them are congruent. Then you have ASA, that is angle, side, and angle. Two angles and the side between them are congruent, right? Two of the angles and the side between them is ASA. Then AAS, two angles and a non-included side are congruent, right? Let's just start with the test questions. Which two triangles are congruent by side, side, side theorem? Complete the congruence statement, right? Okay, let's just look at the triangles. Which two triangles are congruent? So, YZ is congruent to IK, XY is congruent to JK, and XZ is congruent to IJ, right? That means triangle XYZ and triangle IJK are congruent. Got it? Correct option is option number 1. Triangle XYZ and triangle IJK are congruent, right? Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, which two triangles are congruent by SAS? Complete the congruence statement. SAS means side, angle, and side, like two sides and an angle between them. So, which is the correct option? Which is the correct option? That's the second one, right? Triangle BCD and triangle UVW are the congruent triangles. They have the same angles. So option number 2 is the correct. No, option number 1 is the correct option, UVW, right? Which two triangles are congruent by SAS theorem? So which is the correct option? Okay, two sides and an angle between them. So which is the correct option? That is UVW and QRS, right? Option number 1 is the correct option. The correct option is option number 1. Okay, the next one is which two triangles are congruent by SSS? So which is the correct option? Yes, the correct option is GHI and UVW, right? The correct option is option number 2 is the correct option, right? Which two triangles are congruent by SAS theorem? So which is the correct option? That is XYZ and GHI. Option number 1 is the correct option. XYZ and GHI are the congruent triangles. Okay, which two triangles are congruent by SSS theorem? So which is the correct option? The correct option is HIJ and TUV, right? Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to the next lesson. And I think the next one is proving triangles congruent by SSS and SAS. But we are going to skip these lessons, right? You can do these on your own. Okay. You can do these proofs on your own, right? Okay, congruency in isosceles and equilateral triangle. What is the value of x? You are given a triangle two of the angles of the triangle are equal, you need to find the missing value, right? Angle F and angle E are marked with an arc each. So they are congruent, right? E and F are congruent. By the isosceles triangle theorem, the opposite sides, the triangle E and triangle F, must be congruent. The opposite side, angle E, is DF. Here is angle E, so opposite to E is DF. And here is angle F, so opposite to F is DE, right? So DF and DE have the same lengths because the angles are congruent, so their lengths are also congruent, right? So you are given DE is 3, that means X is also 3. Got it? Okay, the next example is, what is the value of Q? You are given PV and UV are marked with a hatch mark. They both are congruent, right? UV and VT are congruent. So let's see. You have to find the angle. TV and UV are marked with one hatch mark each, so they are congruent. By the isosceles triangle theorem, the angles opposite to TV and UV must also be congruent. The angle opposite TV is angle U. Here is TV, so opposite to TV is U, and here is UV, so opposite to UV is Q, right? That means if angle T equals Q, angle U also equals Q, right? Because the sides are congruent, so their angles are also congruent, right? So that is Q plus 32 equals 180. You have to evaluate for the Q, so Q equals 74. Let's just start with the test questions. Basically, you have to use the congruent sides and find the values, right? Okay, what is the value of Z? So sides BC and DC are marked by the hatch signs, right? That means side BC and DC are congruent. So if side BC and DC are congruent, their opposite angles are also congruent. Angle Z is opposite to side DC and angle D is opposite to side BC, right? So angle D is 50. That means then obviously angle Z is also 50 degrees. The correct option is 50 degrees. Okay, what is the value of C? You are given XW equals 1 and VW equals 1, right? And angle V and angle W are marked with the same signs, right? That means angle V and angle W are congruent and sides XW and VW are congruent. So that means that is an equilateral triangle, no isosceles triangle. Side C is equal to 1, right? They have same length, so side C equals 1. The correct option is 1, right? C equals 1. The correct option is 1. Okay, what is the value of T? You are given IH and IJ with the same hatch marks, right? That means IH and IJ are congruent. So angle H is opposite to angle side IJ and angle T is opposite to side IH. That means the opposite angles are also equal. So if angle H is 38, angle J is also 38 degrees. The correct option is 38 degrees. Got it? The correct option is 38 degrees. What is the value of B? B is also 18 because all the angles. But where is 11? In the question, you are given with a different triangle, and in the solution, you are given with a different triangle. If you see the triangle that is given in the question, that is the isosceles triangle, right? The angles are all equal. So then B equals 18, right? But you are not given with the 18 here, right? So the question is different, the solution is different, so the answer is also different. So let's just see that is 11. Okay, what is the value of x? So which is the correct option? Which is the correct option? X equals 3. The correct option is 3. What is the value of B? Which is the correct option? The correct option is 49, right? B equals 49 degrees. What is the value of B? which is the correct option? Yes, the correct option is 40 degrees, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. And the next lesson is again a proof. You can do the proof on your own. Let's do hypotenuse leg theorem. Let's see what it is. Okay, what values of x, w and x make triangle FGH congruent to triangle QPR? So that is a right angle. Both the triangles are right angle triangle, right? You have to use the hypotenuse leg theorem to solve the value of w and x that makes the triangle congruent. Now let's see what is the hypotenuse leg theorem, right? Okay, first look at the labeled pair of congruent legs. The first leg FG has a length of 45 and the second length QP has a length of x, right? So for the congruent triangles, the leg lengths must be equal, so x equal 45, right? Because FG and QP are congruent, so their lengths are also equal. Got it? So that's why x equals 45. For the triangles to be congruent, the leg lengths must equal, so x must equal 45. Now look at the hypotenuse. The first hypotenuse FH has the length 7w and the second hypotenuse QR has the length 49. So for the triangles to be congruent, their hypotenuse must equal. So you can say 7w equals 49. So you can calculate the value of w, that is 7. Got it? Let's just start with the test questions. What value of A and B makes triangle RST and WXY congruent, right? Okay, so if you see the triangles, the leg SR is congruent to leg WX, right? So their lengths are also equal. That means RS is congruent to WX, right? So their lengths are also equal. So 17 equals B plus 16. So B equals 17 minus 16, that means B equals 1. Now just look at their hypotenuse, right? So their hypotenuse are also equal according to the leg hypotenuse theorem. So A plus 41 equals 48. Evaluate it for A, that is 48 minus 41 equals 7. So A equals 7. Got it? So the correct option is 7 and 1. A is 7 and B equals 1. The correct option is option number 1, that is 7 and 1. Got it? The correct option is option number 1. Okay, what values of W and X make triangle EFG and triangle BAC congruent? Which is the correct option? So FG is congruent to AC, right? So 37 equals X plus 35 and X equals 2. Then GE and BC are equals, so W plus 33 equals 41 and W equals 41 minus 33, that equals 8. So the correct option is 2, 8 and 2. Option number 1 is the correct option. Got it? The correct option is option number 1, that is 8 and 2. What value of x and y triangle RST and triangle CBD are congruent? So, which is the correct option? Congruent sides have equal side length, right? So then 7x equals 49, so x equals 7, and then 10y equals 20, so y equals 2. That means the correct option is the second one. 2 and 7 is the correct one. Okay, what value of w and x makes f, g, h, and q, p are congruent? So, which is the correct option? That is 7 and 45. Option number 2 is the correct option, right? What value of y and z makes QRS congruent to GEF? So, which is the correct option? That is option number 115 and 42. Option number 1 is the correct option, right? What value of W and X make triangle TUV and triangle PQR congruent? So which is the correct option? The correct option is option number 1, that is 40 and 16 is the correct option. What is the value of V and W? What value of V and W make S triangle STU and triangle JIH congruent? So which is the correct option? Yes, the correct option is option number 2. That is 41 and 45. Option number 2 is the correct option, right? Okay, the next one is what values of V and W makes triangle FGH congruent to triangle TSR? So which is the correct option? The correct option is option number 2, that is 40 and 43. Option 2 is the correct option, right? What value of S and T makes triangle FGH and triangle ECD congruent? So, which is the correct option? Yes, that is 41 and 45. Option number 2 is the correct option, right? What values of W and X makes QRS triangle and triangle JHI congruent? So, which is the correct option? The correct option is yes, that's option number 2 for 19 and 43, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So, we're working on grade 10 math. Chapter we're working on is congruent triangles, and the lessons we have covered are SSS and SAS theorem. Then we did the congruency in isosceles and equilateral triangles, and then hypotenuse leg theorem, right? So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we did today. That is your homework until next session, right? Let me just edit the lesson name also. So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can join me in the interactive session that is daily from 4 to 7 from 9 to 10. Also, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday, 5 to 9. So if you have any questions related to lessons we have just finished, you can please ask. I have any. The lesson name. Mhm.